Hello there, Chris here from Becky's Models, and thanks for coming and watching this special video. 1 million views on YouTube. I'm as shocked and stunned as you are that someone would want to watch me 1 million times, but there it is. So I thought it was a good time to do a bit of a spring clean, a bit of a spring update, tell you what's going on, where am I going for the rest of the year, and then in the future, get that out 3 times quickly. The good news is I'm now officially on holidays. Well, kind of. If you know what I do for a living, I've got 2 jobs. One job I help out in a publishing business, so that one I keep doing. It's only an hour or so work a day, and then I do stints. You know, I take over the business over the Christmas break, and I do a bit of retainer work here and there. That's still going on, but my other job, where I work full time, it's my own business. I'm just taking a break from it. It's just everything's just too stressful. I haven't had a proper holiday for 3 years. Whenever we go on holidays, my wife and I, she works an optometrist. We go as working holidays, so it's fun. We get to go somewhere different and enjoy it, but we're still working, you know, during the day. Like, so we're in Cairns recently, up in far north Queensland. Absolutely beautiful. It was lovely weather. You know, spring up there. It's 30 degrees Celsius. That was the max. Beautiful weather throughout, but I still had to work, which is a bit of a pain. So there it is. I'm really going to enjoy this time off I've got. I've promised my wife I'm not going to spend the entire time downstairs here modelling, but I do intend to catch up on a few subjects, a few projects, so I'm going to talk about a little bit about that today. But I'm also going to show you this. Look at this. This is my Border Models Lancaster, the 1/32 scale one. And oh my god, my dog below. Where is Penny? I think Penny was watching me through the upper window just before. She's around, my Belgian Shepherd. Yeah, so I'm going to do a quick unboxing in this video, so if there's a timestamp or something down the bottom in the chapters, if you just want to go forward to that. I'm not doing a full 1 hour unboxing. There's, you know, 4,000 sprues and all these different things in there, but I'm going over the kit. I'm very excited about it, and I'm so excited it's actually going to go up on the wall as a piece of art in my office here, alongside a few other things. I've cleaned up the office. Having said that, I've cleaned it up. I've got a new display coming. You can see right behind me with the sky background with all my in-flight aircraft. So I'll give you a quick just zoom around tour. I've just cleaned up and changed a few little things since the start of the year. I'm going to get a 3D printer, so that's going to go in the corner there, so I'm really excited about that. I've consolidated my stash again. I've got it down to a bit more reasonable number, and I've got some plans to share that with you about my stash. But I've got a few other things I want to talk about, so let's get onto that first. Let's talk videos first. What's going on? What have I got in the can, so to speak? I keep talking to Harry Houdini about this. He hates having stuff in advance. I think he only ever has 1 or 2, not even 2 videos. He likes to do them on the fly. I've ended up, I think I've got, I don't know how many gig, it's hundreds of gig of video. Because all the stuff I make, I do record. I just switch the overhead camera on, and, you know, maybe I talk, maybe I don't. But I've got lots of stuff that I've been building, haven't shared with you guys yet. But yeah, it's there in video form. Like my tank chest. I don't know if you came across, you saw. I made using Zvezda 1/100 scale wargaming tanks. I made a full chest set out of tanks, 32 tanks. That video is done. I just need to put a voiceover on it to explain my process. That'll be coming up soon. I've started the Airfix Sabre as a sort of what do you call it, a mojo, a cleansing build. So I've started that. It's still in pieces over there, and at one stage I wanted to throw it against the wall because, you know, it's Airfix. Half the kit is brilliant, half the kit is rubbish. That's not rubbish, it's just typical Airfix. Really good intentions, bad quality control. What else have I got coming? Yes, Porco Rosso. It's the 30th anniversary, 30th? I think. Yeah, 30th anniversary of the film. Love that movie. I've got it up there in my work in progress cabinet. I made a decision not to rush it, not to go full steam ahead when I was doing the competition, so I put it aside, and I'm going to be doing a slow work on that, but that will be finished by the end of the year. If you saw my review video, I've got, I won't skip ahead to that, we'll talk about that in a minute. What else have I got? The other thing that I've got that I'm sure some of you don't really care about because you downvoted it, because you're Russian, spelled with a Z, is my Ghost of Kiev build, which is in the cabinet just over there. So I've got a trio of Ukrainian themed builds. I've done one, so there was a 4th one. Where have I done? Oh no, I've already packed that one away. I did a little X-Wing. See if I can put a photo up there. I did a 1/44 scale X-Wing in Ukrainian colours, just as an homage to President Zelensky's one that he had on his sleeve. But I'm doing the Ghost of Kiev, and I'm doing the Antonov 225. I'll see if I put some progress photos up here of of her, and she's a beast. It's right up, like, in fact I couldn't put the box back away because the wingspan now is too big to fit in the box. I've got the underside wings on, not the top side wings. That's the way that Revell has engineered that kit, and oh my god, below. Have I ever got a review wrong? I thought, when I did the out of the box review, I thought, hey, this is a great kit. And on paper and in the flesh, it looks pretty good. But when you put it together, no. Engineering is not very good at all on certain parts. Certain things, wondrous, great. I love the fact that they've just got a one-piece underbody there for the landing gear. Plock, goes in, done. Don't have to worry about those little wheels and things. So that was great. But the fit of the engine nacelles, the trying to get the way that they've got the top of the... I'll explain it all later. What does that man say in Princess Bride? Let me explain. No, there's not enough time. Let me sum up. It's not a very good kit. You can with a lot of sanding and a lot of elbow grease, it can go together and become quite a fantastic piece. And I'm really hoping I can pull it off with doing that. I'm also building a completely new flight stand for it because the one they've got in the kit's a bit naff, full of sink marks, and it's a straight and level flying, pretty boring. So I'm going to have mine banking, like I've seen quite a few reference photos. You know, she's banking across the after taking off, which is also handy because I can fit it in the bloody display cabinet. Because once you bank an aircraft, the width of it, the wingspan reduces quite significantly. So I've got that one, and then I've got a little tiny one that Alex Clark, I don't know if you've heard of Alex, he's a master modeler of doing 1/72 scale, braille scale, tiny things. He's a master scratch builder as well. He started after I did it, but he did one of those pictures that we came from the Ukrainian war of a T-72 turret that had been blown off and landed in a wheat field. And I started mine before his, but of course as is what I want. I always get distracted, you know, squirrels, I'm doing other stuff. 4 things at once. Something I really want to change doing next year. As I play catch up here for the rest of this year, I can play catch up and finish some other things. But he went ahead and finished his, and he did an amazing job. I'll put some photos up here of what he's done. And we both came up with the same idea to do the triangular display stand. Mine's slightly different. I've built mine, it's all finished. And I've done the tank, I've modified my tank, that's all done. Yeah, I just need to paint and weather it and make a base, put the weathering effect, the dirt effect on the base itself. And that one's done. So that's my trio of Ukrainian stuff. I have to get the Ghost of Kiev done as soon as possible because it's been months and months and months since I did part 1. I mean, it's built, it's all complete. I'm looking at it right now. There's a little bit of sanding to do on the nose. I had to rescribe the whole nose. I wasn't happy with the fit that Trumpeter did, so I just filled it and I've rescribed the nose. And yeah, the missiles are done. Fuel tank's done, just need to paint it. And if you watched, or maybe I've dropped some hints about how I'm going to paint it, I'm not painting it exactly how the Ukrainian Air Force has theirs. I'm doing it in a ghost style, and I've had to learn my silhouette cutter, learn how to make my own mask to do that. So that's a really, really fun challenge. So what else have I got coming up? And we'll leave it there, and I'll splice in when I'm going to, I don't know, you want to look at that Lancaster in a minute and a few other things. Trying to keep this video quite short so you all watch it, but let's just have a look what I got planned as well. So I really don't want to start any new kits for the rest of this calendar year. I'm looking at them right now behind the camera on the tripod. I've got a whole display cabinet full of work in progress stuff and a few other ones in the cabinet, in the stash cabinet as well. And I really want to, I'm not going to rush them, but I really want to finish a few of these things, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get them done. But you know, you got to get the mojo going. You got to start something new and fresh every now and again. So the Felix stove. This is how I want to do my Wingnut Wings Felix stove. So I'm going to do a trial run with the 172. Now it's not a simple kit. I've done the review. I'll put a link up there at the top so you can have a look at. The rigging is not the hardest bit of it. It's the engineering of the wings, and there's a few faults in the fuselage as well. But it is what it is. Nobody else does these sort of kits, and it's an older Rodin kit. Rodin of late are a lot better. So hopefully I'll be able to get that started soon-ish. Don't hold me to it though. It might be November, it might be December, it might be December 31st. I have said I will do a Felix in 2022, so it may be New Year's Eve that I do it. The other interesting thing, I originally was not going to keep this. This is the new tool, newish, Tamiya P38, the FG, which is, I prefer that to the J, even though the J does have the nice sexy natural metal finish. yeah, I was not going to keep this, even though I've got quite a few aftermarket things in there. Let me open it up. What have I got? Oh, I've got decals, I've got mask set, and actually that's all about it, but I'm going to get some more things for it. Two things. Basically, at the last state competition, I was paired with Michael Drover, who's a master aircraft modelist, particularly in 148 scale. That's his scale, and he's just fantastic in that scale. He won gold, of course, in his categories. But he showed me, I did judging for the first time. You go check out that video I did on why I think everybody should learn how to judge at a model competition to improve your enjoyment of the hobby. Anyway, he afterwards we kept chatting and talking and what have you. I've known him for a few years, but we got a bit closer during the competition, a bit understanding what's going on. And he challenged me. He said, "Hey Chris, let's build the same kit together and see what we come up with. See if we can come up with different finishes and what have you." And I told him, I said, Mick, I'm going to do it in flight because I'm touched. I got to do my aircraft in flight. That's how I do it. That's my shtick. And I'm getting there. I'm getting better at it. There are some solutions I'm trying to develop with the 3D printer. But I am getting really, really frustrated with the lack of out-of-the-box options, particularly, funnily enough, with Tamiya. And I've built almost every Tamiya kit in 148 scale aircraft kit. Some of them several times over. And they are woefully inadequate, for want of a better word. The pilots that they do include, yeah, at least they've got a seat to pilot. He's there sitting with his hands in his lap. Most of the wheel well doors don't fit out of the box. You have to modify them. You have to spend an inordinate amount of time sanding and whatever. Some of them fit perfectly, some of them don't. And you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, that's fine. What's wrong with that? Well, I would rather they all didn't fit too well, so you don't get your expectations up. With the F14, they fit kind of okay. In fact, once you work out how to do the nose, it fits really good. The side pieces, some of them do, some of them don't. So it's frustrating. So I said to myself, no, that's it. I'm not going to do any more. Unless it comes out of the box, I'm not modifying the kit, unless it's an absolutely special subject, or in this case, a bit of a challenge. So that's what I intend to do. This is for August next year, so it's going to be a slow burn, even though I think Mick's already started his and he's got it built. I mean, if you do it out of the box as the manufacturer intended, which is not the box art, which is false advertising, and I'll stick to that, I'm not going to say anything else, it's actually like that, okay, it's posed like a car. If you build it out of the box, it falls together. It's Tamiya, it's new tool Tamiya, it's it's an amazing kit. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this one because I know Paul Budzik's doing one. He's doing the Recon version, so he's modifying it, but he's doing his in flight as well. So that's where my excitement is like, yes, I think we can. And he says it's actually not that bad to do. So, but mind you, he scratch builds entire tank hulls for a lark. So he's much higher than me in terms of modifying stuff. I'm still a neophyte. So apart from those two, I think that's the only two newish things I've got planned in the future, although I might have some other things I'll keep close to my chest. So let's leave it there. Here's a quick little spin around the hobby room. All I've done is I had all these kits up here and they look just terrible, so I've cleaned them all up and I've got the new Lanc and the U9 up there. Actually, that's an empty box, secret behind that. Tell you later. My two main display cabinets on the left hand side, that's all my work in progress. So I've got my big 1/16 scale Tiger, I've got my Ghost of Kiev MiG-29, quite a few other things in there. And then on this side is my other stuff. I've got some sci-fi stuff, my old Star Destroyer, and a couple of shelves of other stuff, most of which I'm actually going to sell off. So I'm going to clear out a lot of that stuff. Yeah, and oh, what's that thing down there? Ooh, we'll talk about that another time. Okay, so what I've mainly done over in the corner here is I've moved my little photo booth and put out another mat, and that's where I normally, that little blue mat you can see there, that's where I normally do all my paint stuff, because that's my paint stash in that cabinet right there in those drawers. So what I've done is I've cleared that away because I find I just do so much mixing and experimentation with paints and trying things out that I need more room. So I've got more room, but what I intend to do in that little corner is 3D printer. I always intended for it to be in that corner, but now that I've cleared that up a bit even more, I'm really gunning to get that really soon. And oh look, wheels down aircraft, funny that. Okay, nothing's changed over here. I've got the FX Sabre that I'm working on in the paint booth. Paint booth's still there, and there it is in the corner there. And that's my workbench, and all I've done is just put my photo booth, the little one, right at the end of the workbench. above there. I've cleaned that up a little bit, even though it does look a bit dirty. What I've got there, of course, is the Antonov Dream, the 225. I can't fit it back in the box. You can probably see the wing just poking out. And my long-going CH53E, and I think 2 of those boxes are the parts for that, and the other boxes are just stuff I use on the bench to get out of the way. This is a very dusty room. I like to have everything put out of the way. I clean down the benches and I clean the floors every day. It's just where it is. Anyway, here's my new addition. It's my new display cabinet. It's 1200mm wide, 1800 high. It says 400 deep, but really the problem is the way that they've set it back and the way that the track mechanism, it goes down to about 30 centimeters almost. So you can see that it's quite a narrow shelf. So I'm not that happy with that, but it's not that big of an issue because, like you can see with my mid-31 in flight when it's banking, it doesn't actually take up as much room. So yeah, and someone pointed out I didn't do it on purpose. You know, I've got the big high-flying jets at the top, and I've got a helicopter down there, then I've got an aircraft carrier, then I've got submarines at the bottom. I didn't do it on purpose that way. This is how it came out. So anyway, bit of room there to fill up, and let's just get back to it. Okay, so here's the stash cabinet. I've rearranged it again, of course. I like to do that, make it nice and neat. As you can see right down the bottom there, I haven't really changed my focus. I'm just getting laser-like focus. That's my armor and my 148, 172nd stuff. Everything else is 132nd, or if it is 148, it's pretty big stuff. So there's all my sci-fi, mainly Star Wars, but there are some non-Star Wars things in there. Some of the Big Bertha, 132 and 135th Hind, the Shelf of Glory, all these models except for that Messerschmitt, the Trumpeter 262, which is in a different box, an empty box. These are all in-flight capable, out of the box, and that's the holy grail stuff for me. You probably can't see it because I got that thing in the way, but yeah, you know, Mark 8, which I'm going to convert to Mark 12. Got my EF126 Junkers. I like that kit so much, I bought another one because it's wheels up capable out of the box. Can I get that to sit there? And then over in this side is my Naval Aviation shelf, or aka F-14 Lovers shelf. So I've got F-14s of every scale, plus a few ring-ins. What have we got in there? Oh yeah, the Aviate-B and the Osprey, both of which are going to do wheels down, funnily enough. This weird shelf here, which you can't really see what's in there because everything's stacked sideways, that's my weird and wonderful shelf. More on that later. And then down here, which is where I had my Holy Grail kits up on the big shelf, but you know, I just had too much, cleared it out. Now I've got them down there. So yeah, some big kits in there, the Felix Stowe and big ME262, and I've got 2 Typhoon class Hobby Boss 1/350 scale nuke subs. Why have I got 2? Interesting. And then zooming up really quickly, sorry about that, there's my big 1/200 scale Nelson, and I've got a few other big things in there you can't see, but we'll talk about them later. So the purpose of doing this is I've had lots of people ask me in the comments, can we have a look at your stash again? I did it a few years ago, but this time what I voted, got people to vote on it, and people have come back to me and said, look, can you just go over a bunch of kits together and explain why have you chosen these ones and what plans have you got for them? Because the thing is, I've built, since I started back in the hobby, I've built over 150 kits. And I think I've developed somewhat of a knowledge of what's suitable for me, at least. You know, some other people are a bit more tolerant. As you can see, I've only got 1 or 2 Airfix kits in there, so other people are more tolerant of Airfix. I'm a massive Tamiya fanboy. I love my Tamiya stuff. So, you know, why have I got certain kits? Why am I doing certain subjects? What plans have I got for stuff? So I'll be doing that in coming videos. Just, you know, do a section at a time, go over a few kits, and hopefully get you excited, and me re-excited for what I want to do. We come to the end of the video, and basically I just want to say thank you very much to everyone who's stuck it out to the end here to watch my videos and to put up with my rants about in-flight models and so forth. But one last thing I want to talk about very quickly, and that's expectations. Like when I put a video out and I review something, sometimes I'll build it, sometimes I'll start it and sort of abandon it for a year, like I did with Tank Girl. Poor thing, she's in the cabinet over there. I just want to tell you that if I do something or say something on here on YouTube, I do usually intend to go through with what we've said. One of the things I've hated being accused of in the past is a gunner. He's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. I usually pull through. I do get distracted, I must admit, and I do have like a wonderful, unfortunately the stash cabinet's open while I'm recording this. I'm having a bit of a perv and having a look in there to see, oh my god, I've got some great kits. I do get distracted, but now that I'm on holidays, I do have a mission to finish some stuff, to clear a shelf or two of projects. Look, if I don't stick to that plan and start something else, that's what happens. That's, you know, it's a hobby. It's something that, you know, I'm trying to get as much enjoyment out of it as possible. The limited amount of time we have on this earth, this Middle Earth, to get things done. So lower your expectations. That's the secret to happiness. Lower. Bit lower, keep going low, that's it. So don't expect Becca to do everything he says on the camera here. Just be grateful that some stuff gets done. Okay, I apologise that there's not much armour stuff coming through. Like, I'll just poke my head around. I've only got about 4 or 5 armour kits left, but I do have my massive 1/16 scale Tiger that I'm desperate to finish. I've been building that since 2016 or so. So it needs to be done, cleared out of the way. I'll be really happy when that's done. But like I said, armour stuff applies to submarines. I've got quite a few submarines. I've got, you know, some big, look at the big Type 9 behind me there. I've got the Trumpeter 144th, which is finished. It's, well, apart from the photo etch. So I might do another video on that one soon. In fact, I have videoed that one. What am I talking about? I have. I've videoed the entire build. Remember I said at the start of the video I've got gigs of video? And I do. I've got gigs of video of that, of, what else am I, you know, oh, lots of stuff. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. The next video should be the FX Sabre. I want to get that one out of the way. I think part 2, and then maybe a part 3 to do the painting, and that's done. And then goes to Kiev and a few other little things. But anyway, until next time, I will speak to you later, and happy modelling. Cheers.